Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So DOKKANFEST KALE is now out on Global Dokkan. KALE is very good. I feel like there's been a lot of characters this year that haven't gotten people very excited to, sort of see their animations, see the power that the characters could have, summon for these characters, blah, blah, blah. KALE is really good, right? Again, there's some characters like Super 17 who can be really good, but he's got a lot of flaws. There's a character like maybe like the LR Spirit Bomb Goku who just sucks and he's not hype, right? Like there's just been a bunch of characters like that, but KALE, it's like she doesn't carry a lot of hype behind her, but in terms of power, KALE has so much power. KALE is a character that doesn't have a bad design either. There's characters who have like really weird designs that just suck. Now, KALE has one, it's more of like a balance thing than like some huge issue. In both KALE's base form and her Berserk form right here, and in Super Saiyan 2, she does need a Universe 6 category ally on rotation. Now, that is bad, because if we take a look at the Universe 6 category, we will quickly see that it sucks. It's really bad. You go through this category, and there's almost nothing runnable in this category, unfortunately. We could maybe try STR Khalifa with her dodge shenanigans, AJL Khalifa with dodge shenanigans. We could try Tech Kefla, have them stack up. We could bring Tech Frost, and maybe have him try and get like a little support or something, although he gets destroyed. Right, besides Easy, LR KALE, and Khalifa, which comes out in a couple of days for Global, there's just not a lot to work with for KALE's Universe 6 theme. But again, sort of what you want to do is just rock KALE with KALE and Khalifa. Turn 4, we're able to transform into KALE's Super Saiyan 2 version, where she can go slot 1. Kind of the issue for KALE is just that, she wants to be run with a Universe 6 category ally, but right now, no Universe 6 character can go in slot 1, turn 1. Every Universe 6 character is built the same way, which is where they suck turn 1, and they need to stack up. They have to build up, build up, build up. KALE doesn't really have to stack up, but, I mean, she's not really too great turn 1. Now, we get this pretty bad opening rotation, all things considered. We have KALE and Khalifa on the second turn. Now, I don't have a ton. I have one KALE friend on the friends list. So if this run doesn't go well, I will have to just search the game to find a dev friend KALE, right? People, KALE, funny enough, I looked at the numbers and stuff like that. KALE was one of the, least, summoned on characters, and the characters that made, some of the least amount of money, KALE. Her banner was pretty bad. So it's like, we can't expect to see a lot of KALEs out in the wild right now. Now, KALE turn 1, she can be good. She just can't go slot 1, right? Because the way KALE works, she gets 160% attack and defense at the start of turn, then 60% attack and defense, and a high chance of an additional super when performing a super. Then she builds up 20% damage reduction up to 60% with each super attack performed. But then here's the last part we won't have access to. An additional 160% attack and defense, and a 70% chance of an additional super if there's a Universe 6 category ally on the rotation, which we won't have. KALE's link set here, let's just quickly take a look. Saiyan Lineage, Berserker, Battlefield Diva, Prepare for Battle, Warriors Universe 6, Tournament Power, and Fierce Battle. So KALE can be good at the start of the fight, right? She could be very tanky and stuff like that. It's just, she needs a super attack to sort of get that damage reduction ability of hers. So, you do have to have KALE get a couple of supers before she could do that. But then she can become honestly pretty tanky and pretty effective in base. Again, I don't look at KALE and think her design is bad or anything like that, right? Look at the Super Trunks. Super Trunks with another 3 Android/Cell Saga category allies on the team, he has a 50% chance to guard. He's dog shit. He's Berserk KALE is, I don't know, 70 times better than Super Saiyan Trunks. I mean, I'll tell you guys this. I like Super Saiyan 2 KALE over Super Trunks as well. I think Super Saiyan 2 KALE is absolutely ridiculous. Now, we are not getting crazy numbers right here. I think I'm probably gonna, after this initial run, I'll try and see if I can't. I mean, I could. How many 200% teams does KALE have? Let me just quickly take a look at that. Because maybe I would like to show base KALE can do good things. We just didn't see it right there because she didn't have a Universe 6 ally. Like, we saw the significantly lower damage output she had. How many 200% teams does Kale have? Let's see. So Kale has Int LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, God Goku, Path to Power Kid Goku, and herself. So Kale has 4 200% leader skills. At the end, I think we'll do another run where we are able to see, because this Kale right here, this is not the rainbow. Is she Link level 10? She is Link. That's good. That's good. That's good. Bunch of defense and dodge. I like that. Yeah, nice. Nice. Well done, whoever's Kale that is. Nice. Nice. I like that. Defense and dodge equips is a huge W for Kale. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to come back in 2 seconds. Kale is going to be on this rotation with Kale and Khalifa. Turn 4, you are ready to just transform into Super Saiyan 2 Kale. She goes slot 1, and she'll be able to dominate the entire game. And then we'll just get one more rotation at the very end of the video, because I could just run Kale on, like, God Goku's team or something like that. Just to get her opening sort of, like what she can do in base. Again, Kale is good. I don't, like, people just don't act like Kale is anywhere near, like, God Goku and 23rd World Tournament Goku and Piccolo Jr. and shit like that, and it's just not true. Kale is with those characters, man. She is that good. Now, do I think we're going to get a Universe 6 character, like a buff, to make Kale even more effective? Probably no. Probably not. But we'll see. Nice dodge, girls. Only 144 for Kale. Okay, that's not really too bad. Yeah, great dodge by Kale and Khalifa. LR, Kale, and Khalifa, I mean, they're going to get their own... We're going to do a couple of videos for them a little closer to when they come out in Global in a couple of days. They're good, but it's, you know, you got to build them up. Now, Kale, final thing with Kale, her super attack effect. She gets 50% attack for 1 turn is what her super attack effect does. Look how many super she did right there. Again, Berserk Kale, I mean, she could quad super, basically doing damn near 10 million attack stats. Like, look, dude, like, again, like, Berserk Kale is strong, and she's building up damage reduction with every super attack. So it's not like, oh, she could do damage. Like, you know, show me a screenshot of Super Saiyan Trunks doing like an 8 million attack stat, and I go, oh, whoopee, and then he takes 500k from a normal after that, right? You know, it's like, oh my god, yeah, so impressive. Kale, after she supers, she's not taking, like, she's gonna need to get supered by one of the big, you know, 1.5 million damage super attack bosses in order for Kale to actually take damage. Kale is good. Alright, guys, so we're here on turn 4. You know what I realized I could do? I could cheat a little. Yeah, we do have a Ghost Usher available to us. I think I might just pop that, just because we could get... So Kale, the way her active skill transformation works, we can do this at any point starting on turn 4 with a Khalifa on the team. That's why specifically LR, Kale, and Khalifa are so important, right? Because that's our turn 4 Khalifa right there. Or after Kale does 6 super attacks in battle. It's not really that bad as long as you have a Universe 6 ally. Because remember, Kale's high chance of an additional super and performing a super, that can proc on any super she does. So, like, Kale can super attack, she doesn't proc that. But then, you know, you get the super attack from the Universe 6 ally, and then it could proc it. Or then you get the Hidden Potential System super, and then that could proc that. So it's like Kale is one of these type of characters. LR 5th Anniversary of Vegeta Blue is like this too, where it's like they can sort of get ahead of steam, and like their supers are like they're designed in a way where Kale's supers can combo into each other, right? So it's going to be, I mean, I don't want to say, it'll be fairly consistent that you'll get 2 or 3 with Kale. So, I mean, it could only be a couple of turns even without a Khalifa on the team. I'm going to, again, just do this. Just so we're just here to see what Kale could do. We're not doing a super serial challenge run. This will be a good rotation for Kale right here. Because I believe we do have Battle of Gods Vegeta support activated. Kale, I mean, we have a lot of her links active. Saiyan Lineage and Berserker are the 2 links we do not have active. And then we could just do Kale's transformation on the next turn, right? Alright, Kale and Khalifa, yeah, we were below their threshold, huh? So Kale and Khalifa, they were able to get their extra stats. So Kale and Khalifa, that's the thing about Kale and Khalifa too, is that if you're under the HP condition for them, they get that extra additional and the extra attack and defense. They're much better with that. That's sort of the only extra, like, line that was added to that. Like, their EZA is exactly the same. They just have higher stats, essentially. and they have that one line, which is the extra additional and the extra stats when their HP is below that certain threshold. But yeah, this is what Berserk Kale does, right? She's doing this. She's just supers, you know, building up her damage, building up her presence. Yeah, Kale is good, man. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I am a huge Kale defender. This is my type of character. I just wish that we had like better Universe 6 units to be a little bit more effective, because you could bring Kale and Khalifa. I mean, depending upon the fight, maybe it's a little bit tricky sometimes, but like you could run them. If we just had one more strong, just literally all we need is one more strong Universe 6 character, just like a Carnival LR hit or something like that, and Kale I think would be much better off, right? Just if we could get 2 Universe 6 allies on there to kind of cycle around on the team that were competitive, that would help Kale drastically. All right, we had a little bit of a hiccup. We are on the God Goku team now, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and transform into Super Saiyan 2 Kale. This is where Kale gets really, really nasty. One negative for me about Kale, one of my favorite parts about characters these days is voiced animations, and we only just have that one transformation for Kale. That's all we've got, right? No intro or attack or something like that. All right, so Kale goes into Super Saiyan 2 form, and I mean, this is where she just really becomes that bitch, right? Like, it gets ridiculous. So Kale's super attack, she gets 30% attack and defense for 1 turn, and then a 30% chance to crit. The 30% chance to crit stacks, by the way. So her first super attack, 30% chance to crit. Second super attack, 60% chance to crit. Third super, 90% chance to crit. Fourth super is a guaranteed crit, and she can super up to 4 times. She gets 100% defense for her first 6 turns, 200% attack and defense at the start of turn, 120% attack, and 2 additionals, each of which has a medium chance of being a super when she performs a super attack. She has a high chance to guard. She gets 60% attack and defense for 3 turns after she gets hit. And then she gets 160% defense and guaranteed guard if there's another Universe 6 category ally attacking in the same turn. I think balanced well. Kale doesn't have bad design or any nonsense. It's just straight up balanced well, I would argue. So I do like what Kale's got going on. Her link set, Berserker becomes Super Saiyan, which is obviously very good for us. So here we go. I think we have Battle of Gods Vegeta's support up, by the way. So, I mean, this is going to be the strongest rotation we're going to see from Kale in this video. Is going to be right here. All right, so Kale's going to get hit, and she's going to get the 60% attack and defense right here. I believe I did... Let me double check what my build is for Kale. I believe we have mostly dodge for her. After Kale gets that first hit, too... Oh, she's at 11.4 with the first super. Okay. After Kale gets hit... That 60% defense really helps. All right, so we just got 2 normals, and then Hidden Potential System we didn't get. Okay, so a little bit unfortunate, right? Kale can very easily go crazy, but it's, you know, it's like a lot of the characters in the game, you know, that have all these built-in additionals and stuff like that. Kale could give us a ton of super attacks, or she could not. But that guard, combined with her high defense, works really well for her. Now, her defense was fine. Right there at the start, it was like a little bit under, what was it, 500? She was a little under 500k. That multiplicative buff she gets, though, of the 60% attack and defense for 3 turns after receiving an attack, you guys are going to see on the next turn how much higher her defense is going to be after that buff is put in. Kale can go head-to-head with every really tough boss in the game. All these big bosses, Kale could perform really well against them. Kale is just really, really good. Really, really, really good. Alright, so we're on this next rotation right here. Let's see what we got. So Kale's at 594 with guard. Remember, every super attack she does, giving her that 30% attack, defense, and chance to crit. So she's just going to be very, very strong. And then this is where this rotation can really start to click, right? Because Kale and LR Kale and Khalifa, they get very strong as they continue to super attack, stack up their defense as well as stack up their chance to dodge. And then, of course, Kale is just able to be kind of like a dominant force right here. You know, guarding, tanking a lot of the toughest bosses in the game, and then able to shoot out, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, huge, like 10, 11, 12 million damage super attack crits, and, you know, building up her defense, building up her crit chance, doing all this craziness. Kale is just busted. There's hit him with some additional, and then, you know, dead right there. I mean, there's Kale, man. DOKKANFEST Kale is just a absolutely ridiculous character, right? I just think that Kale is absolutely crazy. So let me know what you guys think of Kale. Actually, you know what? Let's get one more turn. Let's see what Kale looks like with Oob support. Actually, we'll do one more turn. All right, guys. So we're here on this rotation. Again, we have Oob support up now. So let's see what Kale looks like with Oob support. Oh, she's at 417, but remember, that buff for several turns has worn off for her. So we would need to sort of reapply that. I mean, I guess you could say that's kind of like her only sort of flaw or downside, but I mean, she gets hit once, and then she's got to activate it for, what is it, the 3 turns, so it's not really too bad. Although, if we had that buff up, Kale's defense would be looking a lot juicier. There we go, there it is right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what Kale gives us on this turn. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of DOKKANFEST Kale. Again, she's definitely one of the strongest units in the game. She's definitely on par with a lot of the strongest TURs in the game, right? God Goku, Piccolo Jr., 23rd World Tournament Goku. Kale is on that level with a lot of those characters. She only needs one Universe 6 character to sort of pair with her, and she could be pretty effective. You know, I would love if we get some help from Universe 6, but I mean, do I actually think we're going to get it? Maybe, maybe not. It's very hard to say, but Dokkan hasn't really been too consistent with dropping, you know, these big guns, so to say, and then actually, you know, giving them help, like LR Super Buu and some of these other characters, right? So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of Super Saiyan 2 Kale. Very, very strong character. I guess we'll let this rotation play out, because, I mean, if Kale and Cleaver get one-shotted by Full Power Frieza here, which they don't. Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, because remember, we're using them because we do need at least one Universe 6 character, but not bad. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Kale. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.